Hey gang, so I thought I would just share a short video on how to install and load the libraries for biodiversity R and GG Vegan. We tried to load these plots or these packages in class last week, and I think the problem that we ran into is we went to install these packages after we had loaded several other packages, including ggplot2. So I'm just going to share my screen here and show you how to go about trying to install these two packages without all the heartache that we experienced last week. So I'm using R 4.03. There is a newer version that just came out. Some of you may have switched to that 4.04 Lost Library book. But regardless of which package or which version of R you're using, it's good to start by just updating all of your packages. And so I just clicked on the packages icon in the lower right window and update, and there's a number of packages that require updates. So I'm just gonna install one of these, or all of these. So I did select all and then install updates, and then I'm just gonna click on yes on that pop-up window there. And so it's gonna run through an update of all of these packages that are already loaded. And this will take just a minute. And remember, when you see this stop sign here in the console, that means that R is still processing. So even though that cursor appears there, R is not ready to move on to the next process because this stop sign is still there, okay? So here, for example, it's still going. And we'll just patiently wait for it to update all of these packages. So as we start moving into more complex packages, what you're going to notice is there's a larger and larger number of dependency packages or dependent packages. So sometimes a package is built using functions from another package. And that's one of the things that got us with biodiversity R and GG Vegan. Both of those are built on other packages. And so when you're loading these really complex packages, it's best to do that from a new R session before you've loaded any other packages. Okay, so notice now this cursor in the lower left here is blinking and the stop sign is gone. So I should be able to click on update and it should give a message that all of the packages are updated. But sometimes there's a holdout package that wasn't updated. And so we'll go through this process one more time just to make sure that we've updated all of the packages before we go through this process of trying to install a new one. And it looks like this one is just going to continually stay at version 3.3. And this could be related to the fact that I don't have the newest version of R updated. So if that one appears again, we'll just move on. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to cancel that. So most of the packages are up to date there. So now we can go ahead and let me just show you that we have an untitled document here that we have not put any script in there yet. So I'm just going to do tools, install packages, and from the CRAN, I'm going to install biodiversity R. Okay, just click install there. And so it's going through this process. If this is the first time you're installing it, a lot of those dependency packages that are already installed on my machine are going to have to load. And so that might take a little while on your machine. But it looks like it worked here. So I'm going to just close down RStudio. I'm not going to save the workspace image. And then I'm going to open it again. Okay. And then I'm just going to do library biodiversity R. Okay, now I'm going to run this. Okay, and it looks like it worked. So it's telling me it's built under the next newest version of R, and I think that's probably what might have been giving us some problems last week. And so if you're running 4.03 and you have administrator rights on your computer, which I don't have on this computer, I would update to 4.04. And we can try it here. Let's see if I have library install. Nope. Let's see if we can do it here. So tools, install packages. I'm going to do install R. This is an option that Windows users can use to update their version of R, but it's not available to Mac operating systems or iOS. Okay, so I'm going to do library install R, that package that I just installed. I'm going to run. Okay, and even this install R was built under the next version. Okay, there is a function called update R, capital R, and open, close parentheses. If you run that, it says you are using version 4.03 and the next latest version is 4.04. So we can hit OK. Oh, there's a newer version to download. So we're going to do that. Do you wish to see news? I'm going to say no on that. Do you wish to install the latest version? I'm going to say yes on that. It always says it's best to run this from the R GUI and not through RStudio, but we're just going to run it through RStudio. So I clicked no on that for the purposes of this demonstration. It's going to go through the installation process. Okay, we're going to use English as the primary language. We'll use the default, so I'm just clicking next through all of this. And depending on the operating system and the computer you're using, take just a minute to install this. We're almost there. Okay, and I'm going to select finish. Okay, so now I'm going to close RStudio. I'm not going to save that. I'm just going to open it again. Okay, now notice that we have R version 4.04 lost library book. So I was able to update that using update R without having administrator rights because I'm using a window machine. All right, I'm just going to delete what's here now. And we can just double check. We can do library biodiversity R just to make sure that library loads okay. So it's giving me an error here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to update packages one more time. Select all of those. I'm going to install those updates. So sometimes if you're using an older version of R and you attempt to do an update, if the package was built in a newer version, you may not be able to do that update. Okay, I'm just going to turn these lights back on. Okay, stop sign's there, so R is still working on updating packages. Okay, I think we're there. Let's just see what update returns here. So it's still this diff object. I'm going to leave that one for now. I'm not exactly sure why that's not updating. And then why don't we just go ahead and I'm gonna remove. Oh, I shouldn't have clicked on that. Yeah, so I'm going to remove this. Okay, and we're going to install it again. Okay. Biodiversity R successfully unpacked, ND5 sums checked. All right, so that typically means it's installed properly. So we'll try library, biodiversity. Still giving this error on UTF-8. I do not know what that package is. Okay, we'll try and load the library. Let's see what this UTF-8 is. Unicode text processing. Okay, looks like it worked. Just run library one more time. So this should work now, okay? So I'm going to close this down. And I'm just going to restart, and we'll go through the installation process for the GG Vegan package. Now, GG Vegan is not on the CRAN, it's available on GitHub. And to install a package from GitHub, we need to use a package called DevTools. So we can go library, DevTools, and if you don't have that already downloaded, you can install it. Should be able to run. Okay, and then we're going to use DevTools 2:, and then we're going to do install _ GitHub. Okay, and then we just need to give it a file path, basically, and usually it's the developer's name or folder, and then it's the name of the package. So this one was developed by Gavin Simpson, and the name of the package is GG Vegan. Okay, so we're going to just run this. Okay, still working on it. Still has the stop sign here. Okay, and it looks like it installed it. We can scroll down here and have a look. Plot. There's GGV in there. We can load that and see what happens. And so notice it loaded ggplot2 as a part of that. And I think that was the issue that we were having last week when we were loading ggplot2 first and then trying to install and load the package ggvegan. Okay, so I'm just gonna close this down and then open it one more time. And we should be able to do library biodiversity R and then library ggvegan, and both of those should load just fine. All right. Biodiversity R. Vegan. Okay, so give this a try, see how it works on your machine, and next time we meet for lecture, we can troubleshoot what might be giving some folks problems. But I think the key is to install these packages before you load any other packages, and after you've installed one and loaded it, go ahead and clear your R session and your console and your history. And the best way to do that is just to close down RStudio and reopen it. Okay, so good luck to you, and let me know if you have problems and we'll troubleshoot those.